The fastest way to success in e-commerce is to take what's already working for other brands, to give it your own twist, and then to implement it in your own brand. Rise is always the first brand I recommend to all stores who are stuck at 7 figures with Facebook ads. Their approach to Facebook ads is unique, and just copying their ad strategy has helped multiple of my clients find winning creatives fast. In today's video, we'll analyze everything: their marketing channels, their creatives, their hooks, their funnels, landing pages, how they push subscription to increase lifetime value, their bestsellers, the app they use, their sales on Amazon, their organic community of over 400,000 people, and much more. So if you want to visualize and understand what an 8-figure brand looks like, this video is for you. So let me first start with a quick introduction of the brand for those of you who don't know Rise. So it's a mushroom coffee brand that makes $15 million a year with subscription on mushroom coffees. They are really unique because they have over 7,500 active ads on Meta, 2,000 YouTube ads, almost 1,000 TikTok ads. They made 3 million organically with TikTok Shop. They have tons of sales on Amazon. They have huge organic communities. And as you'll see later, this is not just a fad or fake likes. I'll show you the details. And overall, it's just a success story in e-commerce. It's the main store I recommend to all my 7-figure consulting clients because there's a lot of systems they use that you might not have thought of, or that will make you realize which parts of your business are not up to level yet to actually make it to these numbers. So this can really unstuck. It can give you some aha moments, some visualizations of that's what I was missing in my business. So I'll really go very deep in this dive. I'll go into meta ads, in their image ads, video ads, their systems they use to actually be able to create those 7,500 active ads on Meta. We'll look at their landing pages and the systems they use. We'll see that they actually don't use very complex funnels like you might have seen some gurus tell you that are necessary to reach those 8-9 figures. Rise proves that it's possible with just simple homepage landing pages, product detail pages, and bundle pages as landing pages for their ads. We'll look at their website, how they increase lifetime value, how they increase average order value, how they actually force you to buy a subscription. We'll look at their best-selling products in details with their numbers. We'll look at TikTok Shop, their strategy, what commissions they're giving. We'll look at their TikTok ads, which will be developed during this video. We'll look at their Google and YouTube ads because what they do is insane as well. You might not have any YouTube ads, but these guys have over 2,000. They have Barney Stinson recommending their product. So we'll look into that. They have Amazon and they've done it well. Again, here, Barney Stinson, they have over 15,000 reviews on their Amazon listings. That's just for one of their products. And they also worked on their organic community, developed mindfulness apps, recipes, a Facebook group with over almost 400,000 members, 79 posts just yesterday. Let me prove that here. 79 new posts. So it's really an active community. It's not just there and standing. They have insane amount of followers on their socials. Here again, their Instagram, 1 million followers. And then an insane amount of positive reviews on Trustpilot, which is key if you want to scale your product to these levels. You have to have a really, really good product. So that's a good quick overview of what's in this breakdown. Let's now dive into it one by one, section by section. And this video will be value packed. Stay tuned. And I will also give you access to this breakdown. If you want to, just tell me in the comments if I should publish it, and I will add a link somewhere later on if there's some demand for it. So let's dive into it. So the first thing I do when I analyze a brand is diving into their meta ads, and I do what I call a creative mapping. So the first thing I do is I look at the balance between image ads and video ads. Now, as we can see for Rise, they have a very good balance. They have a lot of image ads and a lot of video ads. Now, what I see with most of my clients is that they have a lot of video ads, but actually not that many image ads. And the reason is very simple, is because gurus have been telling them that image ads are less performant and that the success comes from video ads. And that's not totally true anymore. And Rise is actually a very good example to prove that. Now, why have gurus been telling you that video ads works better? Well, most of the knowledge about e-com nowadays comes from the early 2020s, 2020, 21, 22. And during that period, most social media platforms were pushing towards videos and especially vertical videos. It was the golden era of reels, shorts, etc. And in e-commerce, it often happens that things grow from little arbitrage opportunity. And there was a real arbitrage at that time to making video ads, to making UGC ads. The platforms were really pushing those. And so most of the knowledge has been built around how to create good video ads. But there's not that many information anymore about how to create good image ads. And so what I've seen from my clients is that image ads are more images than ads, right? But what Rise has proven is that good image ads still work if you actually make them ads. You'll find that a good image ad has most of the elements of the value equation by Alex Hormozi. So this is his value equation in $100 million offers. And you will see that they actually appear in most good video ads, but they actually appear in the good image ads as well. So let's look at one of Rise's image ads. Here you can see, let's pick this one for example. Okay, if we look at the equation, it says dream outcome. Let's look, do we have the dream outcome? Reduce inflammation, okay. Times perceived likelihood of achievement. Here we have 1,800 5-star reviews. So it shows that people have achieved success with this product. Divided by time delay. So here, does it say how long it will take? It does not. So this part of the value equation is not in this very specific ad. Even they could make this ad even more specific by saying how long it takes to reach reduced inflammation. But as we can see, the pack is not very big. So it could be deduced even without having the explicit time. And I think it's probably for compliance reasons that they didn't add time here. But in theory, they could make this ad even more pertinent by adding a specific time delay. And then effort and sacrifice needed. And as you can see from the ad, it's just putting a spoon inside a coffee cup. It's basically drinking your coffee. So it's very low effort. And there you are. That's what creates a good ad. In other words, it's what communicates your value clearly to the customer. And this ad did it. Let's take an example with a second ad. So now let's look at a second ad. Let's pick, for example, this one, a very different angle, say no to bloating. So again, dream outcome, finished bloating, perceived likelihood of achievement. It doesn't have the reviews we saw earlier, but it does have all the ingredients which make it sound like it's a recipe, it's a formula, it's scientific, right? You know all the mushrooms that will help you reduce bloating, and then you can see that some of those mushrooms are really specific to your problem, to digestion, right? Anti-inflammatory, immune support, stress relief, and all these can actually be can be linked to bloating, right? So we have elements here for a perceived likelihood of achievement, time delay. Again, we don't have it in this ad. And then effort and sacrifice. Again, it not explicitly mentioned, but we have this extra element here which says try it. And when you hear try it, it makes it sound simple. Just give it a try. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, right? So it shows that your effort is very little. And by just putting this try it, it shows also that the brand is very confident in its products. So we do have the dream outcome, say no to bloating, perceived likelihood of achievements by the ingredients in there and the scientific formula, no time delay and low effort. Just try it. If it doesn't work, it wasn't that much efforts and sacrifice up front. And that's how you make a good image ad. Now, one thing I see with most brands is that all their ads look the same. So they reach 7 figures by focusing solely on UGC, or by focusing solely on image ads, or by focusing really on one type of ads that they nailed. And they fail to see all the other types of ads that they're lacking inside their ad account. And I call this creative gap mapping. And so it starts by just creative mapping in itself. So as I said, we're going to map the number of image ads compared to the number of video ads. But then within the image ads, we can dive deeper. What are the number of ads they have that are called benefits shoutouts? How many of their image ads are offers and deals? How many of their image ads are social proofs and testimonials? And do they cover all those topics? And you'll see that most brands don't. So Rise does a great job at covering those different types of image ads. And as you can see from my analysis, it looks like they have less social proof and testimonial ads, but that can be used to the tools I used. So most of the tools are not always super exhaustive at capturing everything that's out there on the internet. So from past analysis of the ad, I know that they do more social proof and testimonials than the number of ads that I quickly found when preparing this video. And so that's an exercise you should do now with your brand is how many benefits shoutouts ads do you have? Do you have offers and deals ads? And do you have social proof and testimonial ads? Let's look at what they look like. So benefits shoutouts is something that explicitly states the value of your product and then gives the actual benefits of your product as well. It's delicious and tasty, good for your gut, and a high nutrition density, etc. So they have lots of ads here that shout out the benefits of their products. They also have good offers and deals. So they have Father's Day sales. They have free spoon shipping. They clearly state the pricing. So that's offers and deals. You basically make it very explicit to the customer. This is an ad. This is what you'll get. This is why now it's a good time to buy. And this is how much it's going to cost you. And then you have social proof. My favorite formats are these, but you can also have a look at those, which is basically adding Trustpilot reviews on your ad or really going to state your best reviews on your ads. So for example, here, obsessed with this stuff. I never thought that I would love this as much as I do. I feel refreshed and energized throughout my day. Without the jitters I used to get from coffee, I can see why thousands are switching to Rise. Yum. So you can see how even within image ads, there's lots of variety of types of ads you can do. Look at your brand. Are you doing all these types? If not, start doing them today. Then the creative mappings that I like to do in the video ads is looking at short form video versus long form video. So here again, you'll hear gurus say, focus on short form video, or others will say, focus on long form VSL. And again, their opinion is often based on what works for them, what they have actually mastered. And the reason why they mastered it is because they found a certain arbitrage at a certain point in time, became really good at exploiting it, and now it's their core area of expertise. But we'll see here that good brands actually focus on short form video and on long form video, that they find decent success for each type of video ads. So you can see short form I defined here as less than 60 seconds. Often they will tell you stay close to 15 seconds, 30 seconds, or 60 seconds. For the sake of this exercise, we choose 60 seconds. And then long form videos is anything longer than a minute. It's not a perfect breakdown because you'll see lots of 1 minute ads, which could be similar as the 60-second ones. But you'll get the point. You'll get more like 2.5 minutes long videos, 9-minute long videos, right? So these are all part of the long forms. And as you can see, they work well, right? A 10-minute video can work better than a 1-minute video if you make it right. And even within these few examples, so I just took a few samples of recent videos. As I told you earlier, there's 7,500 ads in this account. So this document is for sure not exhaustive. But even within this little example, we have a winning long form video here, right? So it's a 2.5-minute video. It's not short for an ad. It's not what most gurus might tell you to do nowadays, but it worked for them. And let's just look at how much money they actually spent on these ads. So this ad made 3 million views, right? If we have 3 million views at a CPM of $20, which probably it isn't, it's probably even higher. But if they spend $20 times 3,000, right? It means they actually spent $60,000 on these ads, right? How many of your ads has spent $60,000? Probably your winners did, but it's not that many, right? So right here, just in those few, we have one of their winning examples, and it's a long form, 2 to 3 minute, pretty long ad. So that's why we do the creative mapping, is because every format has its place within an ad account. They all have their own function. They all can work. They all reach different target audiences, but they all should be done correctly. And if you do it correctly, you'll find winners in each of these categories. So start multiplying the number of winning ads you have, map your ads, identify your gaps, and start filling them. Okay, now the next thing we want to look at are the hooks. So I extracted the hooks from the main videos, especially the videos that had been running for many days. Not that is an important criteria. Actually, usually the number of days is not totally correlated with the success of a video, but I had to filter them somehow. I couldn't extract 7,000 hooks. So let's focus on these. And this is part of the genius behind the Rise brand. They are really, really good at talking to plenty of very specific persona and making it sound like their product is really specifically made for them. It's something we already saw in their image ads, right? They were talking about inflammation. They were talking about bloating. They were talking about energy. They were talking about staying asleep. Well, they go even further inside their video ads and hooks. So I'll start by reading a few, then we will dissect them and we'll try to understand what's the strategy behind why they use these types of structures. So if you're someone who likes to have a sweet treat after dinner, then this is a healthy hack for you. Red flags of damaged nerves. Here's 3 signs that you have an inflamed prostate, etc. Nailing and understanding all the starving crowds for your product with the best angles that work for them is the key success factor for a very good and strong ad strategy. So in yellow, I highlighted the starving crowds or the target audiences, someone who likes to have a sweet treat after dinner, someone with menopause, if you're in your 40s. And then the angles here, damaged nerves, inflamed prostate, toxic liver, gut is inflamed, memory, fasting, having sex in your 40s, digestion. These hooks are genius because they call out a very specific person on Facebook. And this allows the Facebook algorithm to target exactly these people. So whilst we all know that targeting audiences don't work as well anymore as it did in the past, the best way to tell the algorithm who to show your ad to is to add that very specific persona in the hook. And they do it with every single hook, as you see. This ad is going to go to people who might have inflamed prostate. This one might go to people who are interested or have signs of toxic liver, etc. The algorithm will figure it out based on the hook and what you say in your video. Now, also take a step back and start thinking about your brand, because look what these guys did here. They are selling mushroom coffee. But who are they talking to? They're not talking about coffee. They're not saying, are you tired at the office? They're going super deep. Damaged nerve, inflamed prostate, toxic liver. Their inspiration of target audiences are endless. And it's all target audiences that their competitors are not going to think about. So they have a tiny monopoly within those audiences. So that's something you want to do for your brand as well. Try to think beyond your usual persona, and you will unlock impressive results and you will create new winners at a faster rate than you ever have before. Now, to create those 7,500 active ads, you need certain types of ads multiplication systems. And I have dissected their main ads multiplication systems that you can now try in your business as well. So if you have at least 2-3 winning ads in your business right now, these systems will help you to multiply them. So first thing they do is they transform winning image ads into video ads and winning video ads into image ads. As we saw with the image ads, they can quickly test winning audience and angle. And then as soon as they have a winning image, they can turn it into a winning video ad. So let me give you an example. So if we go back to our image ads, okay. So let's look at this ad, for example, reduce inflammation. We can easily turn that into a very short UGC style ad. For example, after 20 years, I finally found a way to reduce my chronic inflammation. I tried this mushroom coffee blend, which contains 6 different mushrooms. I was especially interested by this mushroom that reduces stress, this mushroom that reduces inflammation, this mushroom that improves immunity, and this mushroom that improves digestion, because doctors had been telling me that these might be the causes of my inflammation. So when I saw the ad for this product, I immediately went to their website. I saw that they have almost 2,000 reviews, so I thought, let's just give it a try. And that's how I managed to fix my 20 years of inflammation. This is their website. Get yours now. There's 20% discount. Here we go. So we have transformed this image ad with the angle of inflammation into a video ad. And you can easily imagine the same process around with the hooks. For example, if memory and menopause was a winning angle in this video ad, then we can turn that into an image ad. Or let's go here. This is how stuck poop looks like in your body. Well, there we go. We can immediately turn this into an image ad that has a similar structure as those benefit shout-out ads. So this was the first system. The second system is called angle spinning. So once you find a winning ad, you can add a modifier to your angle, and this will make it more precise, which will mean you will have a more targeted audience, but also the audience will feel like you're talking even better to them, which will also increase your conversions. So for example, an age modifier, how to go viral in your 70s. Let's look how they already use it. So for example, before having sex in your 40s, as you see, they're using this modifier, but you could use it in any of those hooks. Here are 3 signs that you have an inflamed prostate after 50 years old. Here are red flags for damaged nerves after 60 years old, etc. Time. So how to train your dog to go off leash in 14 hours from now. But you could also say, see if we have an example here. Here we have it in 30 days. This is what would happen to your body in 30 days if you would heal your toxic liver, right? But we could also use it here. So before having sex in your 40s, watch this 40-second video. Or this is how to fix your sex in your 40s in 5 minutes a day, or in this case, in 30 days, etc. And we have different things like event here, menopause. So mechanism, this is what would happen to your body in 30 days if you heal toxic liver with 1 cup a day. So in this case, mushroom coffee can be your mechanism. We haven't added it here, but we could add it, right? This is a healthy hack for you. Actually, a healthy hack here is the mechanism. And we can make it more explicit by saying mushroom coffee, etc. And then final system they use for multiplying and having so much inspiration about so many different ad creatives is by using the awareness level. So there are 5 levels of awareness, and most people are playing with problem-aware, solution-aware, product-aware ads. But you should actually use all of them in your ad strategy. Now let's look how they did it in just these few hooks that I picked randomly. I just filtered by number of days active, but you will see they're playing with all of that. So let's try to find an example of unaware. So in the hooks here, red flags of damaged nerves. Here are 3 signs that you have inflamed prostate. So this is for people who don't know that they have this inflammation. So they're talking to unaware people, and they're trying to make them problem aware. Now, are they also talking to problem aware people? Let's see. If you're someone who likes to have a sweet treat after dinner, then this is a healthy hack for you. The people who are problem aware, and we're trying to make them solution aware, right? So we go from problem aware to solution aware. Now, do we also go from solution aware to product aware? I don't think we do within these examples. Usually it's something we don't necessarily do in the hook anyways. It's something we do later. So a way to talk to solution-aware people and bring them to product-aware is, for example, people who are aware about mushrooms. If you're already drinking coffee every day, try mushroom coffee because you're already drinking coffee every day. And this has proven to reduce your inflammation. And then you have people who are product-aware. So it's people who are already aware of mushroom coffees. They maybe have tried one or the other. And you want to make them brand aware. So then for these guys, you want to tell them why your brand is the best. For example, 100% organic mushrooms, you're made in the USA. Maybe you can tell them about the dangers of mushrooms that are not cultivated properly, like heavy metals, pesticides can hide within those mushrooms and they can make your life worse instead of improving your life. So for those people, you can make them most aware by saying all the benefits that are very specific to your product compared to other products within your niche. So here we go, just by doing that. Look at how many angles and hooks we found just by looking at the awareness levels. So to summarize, 3 systems to multiply your ads. 1, turn your winning image ads into video ads, turn your winning video ads into image ads. Angle spinning, if you have a winning hook or a winning angle, try to add a little modifier to it that will allow you to talk to a more specific audience who will then convert better because you're addressing their specific need, but you will also tell the algorithm who exactly to target. And then awareness levels, so take people on the whole journey. Don't just talk to people who are aware of their problem, or don't just do problem, agitation, and solution ads, but target every single stage of the awareness funnel. So that's it for the meta ads breakdown. There's a lot more that I can talk about. There's a lot of processes that we can talk about, and that will be for future videos where I will explain how to make UGC videos, how to find UGC actors, how to make non-UGC videos, how to use templates to actually make these types of image ads, etc. But that's for other videos, which I will link in the description when they're ready. Okay, so now that we've looked at the meta ads, let's now look at the landing pages where customers go once they click on the ads. And this will surprise you. And it surprised me at first, and it surprises many of my clients, which is how simple they kept it. People just go from ads directly to product detail pages most of the time, sometimes to the homepage, and then sometimes to a bundle page. So there's no complex funnels, there's no advertorials, there's no like listicles about like top 10 this and that, or top 10 reasons why you need mushroom coffee. No, it's simply from the ads straight to the product pages. Now let's look into it. Let me first show you the different products they have, because this will help you to understand better the brand. And there's actually some differences between those different product detail pages. So there's the mushroom coffee, there's the matcha, there's the mushroom cocoa, and mushroom chai. And different products have different product detail pages, and I'll dive into the details in a moment. But first, I want to show you the genius of what they are doing on their website and on those product detail pages. So here I clicked on the one for mushroom coffee, which is their best seller. It's what most ads link to. And let's go through the customer journey ourselves. So let's say I'm a new customer. I haven't purchased anything from them yet, and I want to try a single bag of mushroom coffee, right? I'll go to medium roast, buy a single bag, and get started. Now bear with me because you'll be mind blown, and then we will go into the details of what happened here in just a moment. So I'm in my cart. I already added some, so I now have 1 pack of mushroom coffee in my cart. $27, let's check out. And I can see here I also have a little upsell if I want to buy something more, but for now, we'll keep it simple. I'm skeptical, I haven't bought their product yet. So let's buy it. $27 seems fair. Look at all the freebies I receive. So I receive free shipping, free spoon and scoop, free magnet, and a free coaster. Amazing, right? Let's purchase it. Well, if you buy now, you actually didn't see that you just purchased a subscription. Look at that. Recurring subtotal, $36 every 30 days. I didn't see it at first. My friends didn't see it at first because I sent it to them to check. So when did we actually subscribe to this subscription? Let's go back and see the genius here. Now, note that this is something I only recommend if you have an amazing product, right? All those little tricks and hacks and solutions are things that serve to enhance existing behavior of your customers, right? So if you have a great product where people already purchase subscriptions, where people are already happy to come back, then you can do it. Don't do this on a shitty product because you're going to have a lot of complaints if you do that. Your customer support is going to be overloaded and you're going to have problems with payment providers, Stripe, PayPal. They're going to be annoying. And of course, you're going to have unhappy customers. So only do this if you have a really good product and people are already happy to have the subscription for your products. Now, let's look at where it happened. Here, if we look above the fold, I just see that I buy a single bag and I click get started. So here's where it's getting interesting. See how it's not saying buy, it's saying get started. You're starting a subscription. And it's only when scrolling down that you see this $36 refill that reships in 30 days. And you can cancel anytime, right? And honestly, even when reading this now, I'm still not 100% sure that I actually buy a subscription. It's only later on in the checkout that I realized it. And then if we go to the cart, here, there's no sign of subscription at all. But in the checkout, it was clarified, remember? So the crazy part about by doing this is that instead of having an AOV that would be around $27 to $50, they can now probably have an AOV that's closer to $200, right? Most people will take subscriptions for 8, 12 months. And that means that they now have almost $200 per new client that they can spend instead of just 27. And that's how they're able to outspend the entire competition. And I believe that's a necessary thing nowadays if you really want to grow fast and aggressively and sustainably on Facebook ads. You need to have a subscription product. If you don't have it, you need to find a way to add subscription products within your offerings. Because look at that. If we have an average order value of $200, it means we can acquire a customer for even $100 would be super profitable, right? Which means we can have a ROAS of 0.25 and we would still be profitable for this product, right? Whilst if you have a one-time purchase product, you need a break-even ROAS of 2, 2.5, 3. Whilst here, your break-even ROAS can be below 1. And that's not just amazing. I think that's necessary to outperform your competition in the long term through Facebook ads. Now, let's go back at the different and have a look at the different landing pages. So we see that the homepage is actually very similar to the main Mushroom Coffee page. And there is one big difference though, which is that the homepage does some education about the product. So covering all aspects of health and showing the actual mushrooms within the coffee, whilst the product page doesn't really do that. The product page focuses on increasing lifetime value and order value and selling bundles, right? Here they sell a ritual set. Here they sell a bundle. But there's very little education that is being done. The education has probably been done in the ad itself or here within the product images if the person needs some extra clarification. The buy box is much higher here than on the homepage. Then the matcha page has a slightly different structure where the buy box comes a bit lower. So this is the buy box. It's where people can purchase, where you actually state your price, which might be because the matcha audience still requires a bit more education. Why? Because it's a newer product. People have seen the mushroom coffee everywhere, but the matcha, they might need to do more efforts in telling customers why they are different than their existing matcha, which is exactly what they do here, not your average matcha. And then it's only later on that they try to increase AOV and give some bundles. Then their next genius move is in the product page of the hot cocoa. So this is a masterclass in showing that they really understood their customer journey and who their customers actually are. So here they show that they really understood their audience perfectly. So their audience is not just people who want energy in the morning. It's people who want to be in control of their energy throughout the day, right? So it's people who want an energy boost in the morning but it's also people who want to have high quality sleep at night. Those are the people who actually move away from coffee, right? And go into these kind of solutions like mushroom coffee. So what did they do? Well, very early on, they're pushing this bundle, which is day and night. Take your mushroom coffee in the morning and your cocoa for sleeping at night. And then they push it even further, which is managing energies, not just in the morning and in the evening. Actually, it's in the morning. In the afternoon, you want this extra boost that helps you through the day, but that doesn't stop you from sleeping at night. And then you want a high quality sleep at night. And that's where the matcha comes in. So you can have coffee in the morning for a quick boost to start your day. Then you have matcha in the afternoon that gives you that extra energy, but without keeping you from sleeping at night. And then you have the hot cocoa, which helps you to have a good night's sleep. Genius. And now you also see why they developed these products. You don't just randomly develop and extend your products line. You actually want to find products that fit within that same customer journey, right? So now every time we acquire a mushroom coffee client, we can upsell him this bundle. We can upsell him the cocoa and the matcha. And we can do that not just through the ads, but regularly through the emails, through our community, etc. And now you're actually multiplying. So whilst we saw earlier that with the coffee, you can get potentially a lifetime value of around $200. If you multiply that by 3, you now suddenly have a lifetime value that can get closer to $400, $500, $600 per customer. And that's insane. And that's how you can outspend your competition in the long term. They will not understand how you're able to stay in the market because they're expecting to get a customer for $20 whilst you can spend $200 for just one new customer. Oh, and one more thing I want to talk about is that on every single of those product pages, there is no distraction towards other products. Like, let me go to the matcha page. You won't easily be able to find the mushroom coffee. If you're on the matcha page, you clicked on the matcha ad, it means you're here for the matcha and you don't get to see the mushroom coffee. The only way to get the mushroom coffee is to buy it in the bundle, or to go here in the footer and see shop all products. But I think even if we go up here, try now or story, you will not see our products. You will not get distracted by the cocoa. You will not get distracted by the chai. You will not get distracted by the coffee. It looks like you can almost only focus on the matcha. And it's the same for the coffee. If we're here on the coffee page, I wouldn't even know that they sell matcha or cocoa. I wouldn't even know it. You have to go to here to shop all products, and that's where you'll find them. So that's another key learning from this brand. So key learnings from the landing pages. 1, you don't need complex funnels. Just sending people straight from the ads to the product pages is enough if you focus all your efforts in improving those product pages. What you can do on those product pages: push bundles, educate your customer, push subscriptions, remove distractions. If they came for one product, they can only see that product. And experiment with how much education is actually required on your product page. And if it isn't required, then just focus on the selling. So that's it for the landing pages. Now let's look at the website. Though we've been through most of the interesting items, we've seen the homepage already. We've seen the product page already, which is where the key takeaway is that you can only buy subscriptions. You can't buy just a single bag. We've looked at the cart page where they have a little order bump. But you don't see that you actually buy a subscription. And then the checkout page. Let's look at that one more into details. So you can see that this is a Shopify Plus store where they have this custom section here in their checkout. So as you can see, there's a lot of social proof here. They also make a reminder of their key selling points and why you can trust their brand. They give a lot of free goods, which is crazy. Like, think if you can do the same this feels like you get a lot of value for just $27 for the first purchase. And remember, the only thing we want with the first purchase is to get the customer to try our brand, right? And then once they tried our product, they will come back for repeat purchase. We repeat how many positive reviews we have. We give them, again, more social proof and trust. We remove all their objections. And here again, we remove all their objections. So even this checkout page is genius. In terms of themes and apps, so here we can see all the apps they're using. Mainly here, analytics and tracking, they're using Hotjar to really understand their customer behavior there. This is probably for some CRO efforts. Shoplift, Attentive, Blotout. I usually recommend Hotjar in 2 moments, which is when you're starting out and when you're stuck at a certain revenue level, just to start understanding how people behave on your website and what you can change at that time. For the rest, usually I recommend to just remove Hotjar because it's just slowing down your website a little bit and it's not necessary on a daily basis. Lots of Google Analytics, Google site tags, etc. Then some Kendo here for reviews, Zendesk for customer support, Breaths for SEO, Google Tag Manager, some Slack integrations apparently. They use Shopify Plus. And then here, Social Snowball. So this is usually for an affiliate program. Video-wise, to have interactive videos where you can pay directly through the videos. Gem Pages to build their product pages and custom pages. Here, NFCube for Instagram feed shopping plugin. So you can buy directly through their Instagram. Then in terms of payment providers, Apple Pay, Google Pay, PayPal, recharge payments, Shopify Pay, Stripe. And then here for advertising, some interesting apps that might be worth looking into it. I don't actually know them. Beeswax, BounceX. Then what else? Distillery, MTN, Wonderkind. Again, I don't really know those apps. Might be worth looking into it. Now let's also look at their best-selling products. Those numbers are not correct, but I think it can help to see the proportions. And these are weekly revenue estimates. So best-selling is the mushroom coffee, then the mushroom coffee dark roast, which is pretty impressive because that's a new product. So that was a great product line expansion. Then the matcha, then the cocoa, then the chai, and then the creamer. All of them having pretty decent revenue levels on a weekly basis. Now for the next chapter, let's look at TikTok Shop and TikTok ads. So for TikTok Shop, the main takeaways are the revenue. So they made estimated 3 million with TikTok Shop. There's almost 8,000 videos talking about their products, which is amazing in terms of organic reach that you get just by putting your brand out there on TikTok Shop. And then in terms of commission, you can see here how much they give per product. As you can see, their main products, their best sellers only get 15% commission. And then for their new products, they're willing to go all the way to 50%. Now for the 50%, I believe it's for the first purchase. But then once they have the first purchase, they can retarget the person to come back to their website. So once they have the first purchase through TikTok Shop, they can then convince the customer to come back to their website to then buy the subscription. So the influencer only gets 50% of the first sales, I believe. But then for them, they get this new customer as a potential long-term subscriber. But even if you look at it, 50% means a ROAS of 2, which is already not that bad if you compare that to like paid ads. But then what's really funny is here, 15%. So that means a ROAS of 6. That's a ROAS of 6. And they made almost $2 million in sales with this ROAS of 6, with this commission. So if you're not on TikTok Shop yet, give it a consideration for next year or for next quarter, because there might be some interesting growth opportunities there for you. Now for TikTok ads, I won't get into the details because we already spent a lot of time on Meta ads. The main difference between TikTok ads and Meta ads for this brand is that they're much more aggressive in terms of claims and in terms of visuals that they use on TikTok rather than on Meta, because Meta has much stricter compliance rules than TikTok. Whilst you might imagine that they just take the same Meta ads and put them on TikTok, it's not necessarily the case. TikTok is a different channel. It has different rules. It allows you to be much more aggressive, so exploit that opportunity. Then let's look at Google and YouTube ads. So this one might surprise you, and you might be highly underusing this for your business. Now you'll see that the rules and best practices are very different from Meta ads. So I'll give you a quick overview of what Rise is doing so that you can get some learnings that are directly applicable in your business. So let's look at YouTube ads first. Here we can see that they have over 2,000 ads on YouTube. Now, as you see, many of them just look like regular Google ads. So that might be due to Performance Max. But let's look at their actual videos. As you can see, they have high quality production videos with Barney Stinson from How I Met Your Mother. So you can see that the rules for YouTube are very, very different from Facebook ads. It's not just simple UGC or pain agitation solution. For YouTube, often you want to be more branded, more pro, almost what TV ads could or would have looked like in the past. And as you see, it's infinite, but it's always very, very high quality ads. Now, let's look at their Google Shopping ads. Those are, again, probably just Performance Max, which are being advertised there. But you can see this can give you inspiration for your Google Shopping listings. It's very simple, very clean picture, prices. And then you can get some inspiration here for the texts and copy. And then let's look at the Google search. 300 Google search ads. Here you can see that they make offers. Here you can see that they have a CTA, order rice mushroom. Here again, CTA. Here again, an offer minus 40% this week. So adding some urgency. So you can really get inspiration here for ad copy. Try to see if you're doing all of this in your Google search ads. Adding some FOMO, don't miss out. Even adding some images. Those are probably banner ads or display ads. Hurry. So here it's urgency. Here, free gift. So it's putting the offer forward, etc. There's 300 of them. Let's not scroll through everything. But as you see, like, they really have an eye for detail in every single aspect that we've analyzed so far. They went into the details. The copy is good. The images are good. The way they exploit the channels are according to what works on that channel. They follow each individual channel's rules and game. Same for Amazon. They follow the Amazon game perfectly. Look at this very clean landing page. As we saw earlier, they have over 15,000 reviews on just one product. It's very, very high quality execution that this brand is showing. Now, in terms of community, this might also surprise you because most of you guys are busy with paid ads, paid acquisition. And the only organic things you guys think about is SEO, maybe Instagram a little bit. But this is a real good example of how a community can really push your brand forward and how big they can become and what type of efforts you can do and what types of offers you can have for your community. So Rise has a mindfulness app. Let me show you where to find that on their website, actually. If we go back here, we have a mindfulness app. Where you get like gratitude prompts every day in your private messages, which is also great because people subscribe. It means you can also send them offers and other types of marketing materials. Then we also have recipes, which is key for keeping people long-term, but it's also making it very shareable, right? By providing recipes, you can make recipes, share them on your social media. And as you can see, we can imagine lots of creators spontaneously sharing this on their socials. But then what surprised me was their Facebook group that has almost 400,000 members with 79 new posts per day. So it's active. It was created 5 years ago, but it's active nowadays. People actually use it. And then when you want to join the community, you actually need to answer some very, very specific questions, which are great. It's like an extra way to survey your customers. So these are the 2 questions they were asking. What made you want to try Rise? Basically, what is the transformation you're hoping to get from our product? And then what's going on in your life right now that made you want to invest in those changes now, right? Those are 2 very important questions for your marketing team in order to understand your target audience. And now let's also quickly show you what their socials look like. So Instagram, 1 million followers with high quality reels pinned at the top. They have a Facebook page, not so many followers on TikTok, 26,000, but can give you an overview of what they're sharing there. YouTube, and this is interesting. So only 5,000 subscribers, which kind of makes sense. Although they could do probably much more by making a educational channel about mushrooms or a biohacking channel, like a Brian Johnson kind of channel. I think that would have a lot of potential here. As you can see, this one was probably their most popular ad, and it has 12 million views on YouTube. And then their Pinterest page, but very basic, similar. So here's some extra market research that I've done for you guys. This is where I found the revenue. So they did raise some money from investors early on in order to have their mushroom plantations and stuff and supply in the US. And so it was easy to find information about their revenue from investors' websites, 50 million annual. In terms of acquisition, we've already seen all their channels, but here you can see how they are distributed. Here I wanted to show the 7,500 active ads on Meta. Here you can see the proportion between Facebook ads and TikTok ads. The exact numbers are not correct, but it shows you a little bit the proportions. Here it shows you the number of YouTube ads, 2,000 regions. So what's crazy is that all this that we saw is mainly for United States and Canada, and even, I would say, mainly for United States. So that's crazy that they can get those numbers by targeting only one market, which also leaves meat on the bone for you guys who are watching. There might be some opportunities for your home country. And then let's also look at competitors. So you might think, okay, but it's easy. They have a special innovative product. No, they've been selling this product for 5 years. There's a lot of competition that entered the market, and not small guys. If you look at this, Mudwater is a coffee alternative, Everyday Dose, and those are not small brands. Like they make 200,000 per week. So that's almost $1 million per month. And I think, again, those estimates are too low. It's probably much more than that. So really crazy competition here and they all make a lot of money. These are almost all like 8-figure brands. How crazy is that? So how they make the difference is really, like we saw, by first of all, being really good at everything they do. It's a really clean brand. We've seen everything they did was top quality, top notch in terms of execution, but also the creativity they have in terms of audience targeting, in terms of angles they have for their ads, in terms of formats they use for their ads. They're so complete. It's really a masterclass here that we have by analyzing just this brand. Here's quickly their brand kit for you guys, just in case you want. These are the colors, the logos. Very simple, not very helpful, but might give you some inspiration. Their Trustpilot. So here you can see they really have 10,000 reviews at 4.7 stars. That really shows the importance of having a good product for reaching those numbers, guys. If you don't have a really, really strong product, you will not be able to make it to $50 million per year in sales. And here you can see the AI summary of the review. Great experience overall. Customers appreciate the positive effects of the product. So the product actually works. Improved sleep, better digestions, increased energy without the jitters associated with traditional coffee. Many customers highlight the pleasant taste of the product, so it tastes good also, including the coffee and cocoa mixes, and some have found them to be beneficial alternative to etc. So it's really positive reviews about the product, not just about the support or the brand or how fast the shipping is. No, it's really the product itself that is carrying this brand. Look at this brand breakdown and see what should you be doing more? What should you be doing better? What are things that you aren't doing today that you should be doing? So try to look at it with this angle: more, better, new. And then use that to define your goals for the next quarter and use that to define your goals for the next year. So that's it, folks. That's my breakdown of this $50 million per year brand. There's a lot to be learned of it, and how simple things can be, how hard things can be. I hope it gave you some dimensions and that it shows you the depth you can go even within the actions that you are already taking today. I hope it was helpful. See you soon for other brand breakdowns. And remember to subscribe to your channel if you're still here, because the next videos will be value-packed as well.